Welcome back. In today's video I'm going to talk about competition and why do I believe that every judoka or grappler should at least, I'm not saying you should become a competitor, but you should try at least to do a competition. At least once in your life. It's an experience that you should try. But why should you compete? Well, I believe that you should not compete to beat everyone, dominate everything, and feel like you are the man. This is the wrong mindset to take when you want to go to a martial art competition, especially if it's your first time. If you want to go there and kick everyone's ass, that's, I won't say it's unlikely, but it's highly unlikely that you are going to kick everyone's ass, okay? You are not going to go into competition to feel like you're the man or get your ass kicked. The purpose of competition is to expose gaps in your own game. It's to expose gaps in your technical abilities. It is to expose gaps in your physical capacities, in your tactical game. Maybe someone applies to you some techniques that you've never seen before, so you maybe need to look more around and to study more new stuff. And it's a way to prove if the stuff that you're actually doing and working in your dojo is actually something efficient, if it can actually work in a real life scenario, okay? Even if you're doing judo, let's say you don't want to compete, you just want to be able to feeling more confident and be able to defend yourself. Well, competition is the most similar scenario that you are going to face. It's the most similar scenario that you can relate to a real life self-defense situation. And you want, by staying only in your dojo and never competing, never going to compete against other people that you don't usually train with, you are not going to prove if the stuff that you're training actually works or not. And you might say, oh, but I do a lot of randori. Doesn't that count? Well, I believe that randori is absolutely good. Randori is a good proof if what you're drilling is actually working, but randori is not enough. Randori is not enough for the reason that in randori you're not really going 100%. And even if when you're going 100% in randori, it's not near as how much you would push yourself inside a competition. And this is something that you can feel only if you've ever done a competition before. When you're competing, there is an increased level of arousal, there is an increased level of emotional activation that will make you push yourself as hard as you possibly can. Okay, there is nothing like competition. Randori is perfect for practicing new stuff, but you won't go as hard as you would go in competition, because randori is also there is much less stakes on the table. Okay, if someone throws you with a great ippon in randori, you kind of laugh it off, or if it depends how much ego you have, but generally speaking, when you get thrown in randori, it's not a big deal. You just get up and start again. When you get thrown in competition and you get a nippon, the competition is over. So there are much more higher stakes on the table. You are much more focused on what is going on. You cannot really distract yourself, or you cannot really think. You gotta be there. You gotta push yourself as hard as you possibly can. And in randori, when you are tired, for example, you can go lighter. You can be a little bit more naive. While in competition, you gotta be very focused all the time. Okay, so it's very different from randori. And even though if you're doing a lot of randori, a lot of intense randori, it will never be as intense as a real grappling competition. And in fact, what I was talking about, the emotional arousal that competition brings to you from a larger perspective, not only for your, let's say, judo journey, not only for your grappling journey, it's also good for your life in general, because competition allows you to fight. It's basically a fight. Okay, I know that judo and grappling is not typically considered a fight, but you are physically competing against another man, and this is something that creates some kind of anxiety. Okay, this is natural when you are in a dangerous situation, or what your brain perceives as a dangerous situation, like a judo competition, your brain is activated. You feel some form of anxiety. You are exposed to anxiety, but this is not a bad anxiety, okay? This is, I would call it good anxiety. Because when you start exposing yourself to competition in a frequent manner, you will start to accustom yourself to feeling a little bit anxious, to feel this thrilling inside of you, okay? This emotion, this arousal, this activation. And when you are able to control this kind of emotion that arises inside of you, the other situation that you're going to face in your life, whether it is a test in school, whether it is a test in college or university, or some challenge in your job or in your day-to-day life, in your relationships, or whatever problem that is, it becomes much more manageable if you train yourself to deal with those kind of emotions, okay? If you expose yourself enough to competition, you have more control over yourself. And this is something that I don't think that much people talk about, okay? Because who the fuck cares if you become champion? There is only one champion. One of my coaches used to tell me, Stas, there is only one champion. Why should we compete if only one wins? Okay, there is first, second, and third place. Okay, whatever, but there is only one champion. What's the point of competition? The point of competition is to train those character traits. It's to prove whether what you're doing is working or not. Otherwise, you're just deluding yourself. So, this is why I believe that you should at least try to compete, at least do one competition. It's not to win and feel like you're the man. It's not to become champion, because just one becomes champion. And training is not the only thing that will make them champion, okay? Competition is important because it proves if the things that you're doing are actually work in a real life scenario. It's a way to expose the gaps in your preparation. And it's a way to expose yourself to good anxiety and become a better human being, not just a better grappler or judoka. It's a way to become a better human being. And now that I hope, convinced you, what mindset should you approach the competition? Because if you approach the competition with the mindset of, oh, I should win, I need to win, you won't go far. Or if you start to become stuck in your head and think, oh, I hope that no one see me losing, no, I hope that I won't get thrown 10 seconds into the competition because it will be so embarrassing for me. This is the wrong way to approach competition. This is the wrong way. Because you cannot control whether you win or not. This is something that I understood too much later in my life. You cannot control whether you win or you lose. What you control is what you can do, and then once you have done what you have done, then the results will come. I don't know if I make this clear. You cannot physically control whether you win or lose. You can do some shit, and if you have done the right shit, then the medal will come. But you shouldn't focus yourself on winning. You should focus yourself on the win. You should focus on what you do in order to win. And what you should do is to apply what you're doing in your training. I've saw countless of guys that was doing, let's say, haragoshi in the dojo, and then when they go to competition, they do, let's say, drop morote soinage. What the fuck, man? Why? Why are you're training one technique for 3-4 days a week, and then you go into competition and you do complete another technique? And the reason why people do that, I also do that myself, is because you're not confident about what you're doing in the gym. You yourself are not believing in what you're training. This is crazy. You are training something that you don't believe it's useful. And this is something, as I said before, competition exposes these gaps in your game. Exposes if you're doing something really useful, something that really works, or if you're doing just some random bullshit and you're wasting 3 hours. You're not wasting, okay, but you get my point. You are not doing something that will actually move the needle of you becoming a better judoka. And you will understand that. So when you're in competition, try to do what you have practiced in training. This is what you should do. You should go in competition and try what you have practiced and see if that works or not works. And then after that, with your coach, understand why that worked or have not worked. Second thing, not focus on do not focus on winning. Focus on what you should do in order to win, which grip you need to take, which direction you should uh, pull your opponent, which technique should you do, which reaction should you seek from your opponent. Okay, have to think about what you need to do in order to win the match. Do not think about, oh, I need to win, I need to win, I need to win. This won't be a productive mindset. And last thing, have fun. Okay, it's a sport, it's a hobby. You're likely a hobbyist. You're not likely not a professional. I'm not a professional. I treat my hobby, which is judo, with um, a lot of dedication, a lot of passion, but it's still a hobby. I don't get any money from judo. In fact, I've lost more money doing judo than I've gained. Okay, so at least have fun doing that shit. Okay, try to have fun in competition. Be happy, be positive. And I know it sounds corny, but it's actually helpful. I can tell you, I've approached competition with different mindsets, with the, oh, I'm gonna fuck them all mindset, and the happy, positive mindset, which is, oh, I'm happy to be here, I'm so grateful I'm here, it's so fun to be here and try to practice all of the stuff, it's so engaging, I'm so lucky to be able to do that. Try to have fun and be positive about it. And some ways that you can do that, in which you can maximize your experience of the competition, is thinking about what you're going to do exactly. Okay, so close your eyes and think about, oh, okay, I need to grab his sleeve, then I need to move him into this direction, then I go with my Kochigari, then I go with my Morote, and etc., etc., etc. Think about your inputs, don't think about, oh, I need absolutely to win because otherwise my coach will never coach me again. Leave these thoughts away. Think about what you need to do, and then in the end, if you are doing or working on the good stuff, you will get the medal. If you're working on the wrong stuff, or the stuff is not what you need to work on, you will find out that later. But leave the result away from your mind. Okay? The second thing is self-talk. Try to have a positive self-talk. Also, some stuff that can help calm down when you're doing into competition is meditation, for example. Some people use music. I don't really enjoy music a lot before competition. I prefer meditation and mindfulness, all of that stuff, in order to reduce the arousal, the anxiety that you feel before. And yeah, that's it. That's why I believe that you should compete, and you should learn how to manage all the emotions that come through competing, because it will make you not only a better judoka but also a better human being. I won't stress that enough. The video is over. Thank you for watching. If you need some help, by the way, with your judo training, with your rehab, or with your strength and conditioning, I am a physical therapist. I've done judo for 17 years that I'm practicing judo, and I also researched a lot of topics about strength training, rehab, and all of that. It's my damn job. So if you need a one-on-one consultation with me, you can find out the link in the description, or you can just write me an email or drop me down a comment. Thank you for watching. Remember to aim upward as always.